Correspondents positioned across Ukraine and around the world to bring you the latest on this breaking news. Anna Stewart covering sanctions from London. Jasmine Wright is in Washington with reaction from the White House. Hadas Gold in Jerusalem on how Israel is being asked to get involved in negotiations between Russia and Ukraine. And Alex Marquardt is live for us in Kiev.
Just before we came on the air, we heard those air raid sirens that you also heard in Lviv, but right here as the sun's coming up in Kiev as well. Now, we have heard those throughout the evening, but it had been quite some time. Those air raid sirens ending just moments ago. And then again, moments ago, we also heard some gunfire, loud gunfire coming from that direction. That is the east, where you also, as you also mentioned, we have heard about fighting in the suburbs of Kiev. We have a very solid sense now that this fighting is really encircling the city, that the Russian troops are proceeding in their goal to make their way all the way around this city. But Michael, possibly the most significant fighting that we saw overnight was in the western part of the city within the city limits. For the first time, we heard explosions within the city limits, just about 5 kilometers or just over 3 miles away. We believe that is near a military installation, and the Ukrainian military is saying that they were able to take out 2 cars, 2 trucks laden with ammunition, as well as a tank with an anti-tank missile. So that is what we believe those explosions to have been. So we have that fighting in the west as well as the east. Now, we've also been told that there is significant fighting in a town about 20 miles or 30 kilometers south of here as well. So when you add all those 3 orientations to the fact that we know the Russians have been coming in from the north, although that front has been relatively quiet all night, for much of the night, the encirclement of Kiev is very much happening, Michael.
Alex Marquardt there, and CNN White House reporter Jasmine Wright joins me now live from Washington. Good to see you again, Jasmine. Update us on what the White House knows as it's been watching what's been going on in Kiev overnight.
Well, Michael, the president spent his weekend in Delaware at his home there, but a White House official told me a short time ago that he remains being regularly updated on the events happening on the ground, and of course in close touch with his national security team. But no doubt White House officials are watching what is happening right now with great concern. We know that warnings from officials have intensified over the past weeks, and now we can see that some of their predictions are really coming into focus when it happens, when it comes down to the situation in Ukraine. So no doubt officials are worried about Ukraine as a country, the Ukrainian people, and of course the government stability. As we know, troops are kind of encircling around the capital, but also officials are concerned about President Zelensky and his own safety. So just today, the White House said that President Zelensky and President Biden had a phone call. It lasted about 40 minutes, according to the White House. They told us afterwards. And in a readout release afterwards, they said that President Biden commended the Ukrainian people for continuing to fight for their country, and also that he spoke with President Zelensky about support and about defense assistance. And now, just a few hours ago, we learned from the White House that the president instructed the State Department to release up to $350 million in defense assistance for Ukraine, really trying to show that support for Ukraine's sovereignty as they go through these heightened tension times. And so when it comes to what comes forward, we know that the president will speak to his national security team and his vice president in the morning in a phone call, rare Saturday morning phone call, as he hopes to get updated about the situation on the ground. Michael?
All right, Jasmine, appreciate it. Jasmine Wright there live in Washington for us. All right, let's get more of an inside perspective on what residents are experiencing. Joining me now from Odessa in Ukraine.